It's not the recession, it's not the turmoil of the world's economies, it's not the crisis in Europe or the trillions of debt in America. No, the downturn in Canadian manufacturing, read Quebec and Ontario, is chiefly due to Alberta's oil prosperity, the huge capital expenditures and vast labor force of the oil sands. Such, curiously, to my mind, is the view of our leader of the opposition, Thomas Mulcair. He has almost gratuitously provoked the ire of the western provinces and agitated the always latent frictions between the West and central Canada. What a strange stance for a national leader to be taking, juxtaposing the economic downturn of one part of the country against the prosperous activities in the other part. The activity out west is the single largest reason Canada has avoided the worst of the world's recession. Mr. Mulcair might gratefully have noted that. Furthermore, how strange, too, that a national leader chooses to, so unavoidably, bring up the most divisive political policy of 30 years ago, the hated NEP, National Energy Program, which put the whole of the West on a raging boil and, to a degree, tested the fabric of national unity. It is not a place any serious national federal politician wants to go again, which makes this so puzzling. Mr. Mulcair has had far more to say on the oil sands than he has on a subject much closer to his home base, the student protests and riots of recent weeks, save that he wants the feds to send more money to Quebec for education, which these days means more money from, you guessed it, the West, the oil sands. As you heard in the panel, it didn't take long for Brad Wall, Premier of Saskatchewan, to come out and swing back. He said the logic of Mr. Mulcair's remarks were very, very divisive. And he went on to add bad economics and would take a pipe wrench to Alberta and Saskatchewan's economies. And then, no less a tranquil politician than Ed Stelmach, ex-Premier of Alberta, came out with surprisingly direct, even ominous language. He said, "How do you get votes? You beat up on Alberta. All I'm saying is watch the East, Ontario and Quebec. They've already got two leaders that are pointing fingers." End quote. We do not want to go there. And the opposition leader might do well to hold off on these kinds of comments till he's actually visited the oil sands, seen them, talked first with Western economic, political and labor leaders, and find common ground in being Canadian. This game of playing one part of the country against another, which effectively is what Mr. Mulcair's statements do, is of no value to anyone. Mr. Mulcair is no longer just representing Quebec, and the Western provinces are not some outlier region. He represents all of Canada. These remarks have been his biggest mistake since becoming national leader. He needs to revisit and revise them. For The National, I'm Rex Murphy.